Hello and welcome. I'm Blair Blackwell, and this is the Daily Cyber Brief. Here's today's rundown of the biggest cybersecurity stories you need to know today. Good morning. It's Friday, January 9th, and this is the Daily Cyber Brief. Here's what's moving the security landscape today. An infrastructure management flaw actively exploited in the wild. Fresh espionage pressure on telecom networks via edge devices and Linux malware. And important moves on identity and industrial control security. We'll start with vulnerabilities and exploitation. A maximum severity bug in HPE's OneView infrastructure management platform is being exploited, with the risk of remote code execution on systems that orchestrate servers and storage. Meanwhile, new reporting indicates Chinese-speaking attackers likely ran with a VMware ESXi exploit toolkit more than a year before the underlying weaknesses became public, using a compromised VPN appliance as the entry point. Two different stories, one theme. Management planes and virtualization layers remain high-value targets when attackers can chain edge access with control over the admin stack. On campaigns and threat actors, researchers detail a China-linked cluster, tracked as UAT 7290, expanding espionage operations from South Asia into parts of southeastern Europe. The group leans on Linux-based malware, extensive reconnaissance, and so-called orb relay nodes to move quietly inside telecom and adjacent environments. And there are parallel reports of similar tradecraft using edge device exploits against telcos. It's a reminder that network operators and service providers face sustained pressure at the perimeter and on non-Windows infrastructure. Turning to user-focused tradecraft, the FBI warns that North Korea-aligned Kimsiki operators are sending spear phishing lures via QR codes to U.S. organizations, a low-friction way to jump from paper or screens into mobile devices. And continuing a pattern we noted last week around browser extensions, investigators found fake AI-themed Chrome add-ons that mimicked legitimate tools to siphon data from ChatGPT and DeepSeek, impacting hundreds of thousands of users. Add to that a WhatsApp-born worm in Brazil pushing the Asteroff banking Trojan by auto-messaging of victims' contacts. Social engineering and App Store imposters remain a potent combo. On the industrial side, CISA republished an advisory for Hitachi Energy's asset suite, highlighting a critical issue in a third-party reporting component that can enable remote code execution on versions widely used in energy operations. And in identity news, Microsoft will start enforcing multi-factor authentication for all sign-ins to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center next month. A meaningful policy nudge at a sensitive control point. Looking ahead, expect continued probing of infrastructure management tools and virtualization hosts, as well as opportunistic campaigns that blur mobile and desktop via QR codes. Vendor updates are available for the HPE OneView issue and for Hitachi Energy's asset suite. Cisco also pushed fixes for Identity Services Engine after a public proof of concept surfaced. A reminder that POC to exploitation can move quickly. What I'll be watching today: identity providers and admin portals as enforcement changes roll out. Telecom edge devices and Linux servers targeted for quiet footholds. Infrastructure management consoles and virtualization farms. Browser extensions and AI-adjacent tooling for data leakage. And messaging platforms where wormable lures can spread quickly. The takeaway: attackers are working the layers beneath everyday apps, identity, management, and edge, while refining low-effort lures that still convert. It's a familiar playbook, but today's mix reinforces why hardening control planes and watching user trust signals will matter most over the next few cycles. That's it for today's edition of the Daily Cyber Brief. Thanks for listening. I'm Blair Blackwell. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not cybersecurity, legal, or financial advice.